with fewer pike around, we've got to treat them even more carefully. They're a very, very precious commodity now, and we can't afford to damage any pike. And there's a couple of things that you must take into consideration. The first thing is bite indication. Now, there are different ways of indicating a bite. The two popular ones are one with a float, and secondly with a ledger. And today I've got 3 rods out on ledger rigs. We'll look at the ledger rigs first. It's important that you pull down tight to the rig. So I've got a 3-ounce lead there. I can pull really tight to that rig. I'm clipped up really tight. I've got an electronic alarm which will give me an audible warning if something picks up the bait almost instantly. And I've got a swinger which will bob up and down to either show a forward run or a drop back if the pike should come towards me. So the bite indication there is pretty well tied up really, it's pretty watertight. When you're float fishing, it's important that you set your float just very slightly over depth and tighten down to it so that as soon as the pike picks up the bait, you'll get an early indication. If you set the float too far over depth, you're going to get a delay there.
You've got, obviously you can't watch 4 outfits at once. We all like to watch our floats. You can't watch 4 at once. I always use multipliers. People nowadays have bait runners. Most bait runners, not all, there are some bait runners that make a decent noise. Most bait runners are too quiet. If you're watching that float, oh, I've got a run there, so you get clicked. So that's, again, it's something that just draws your attention more quickly to the fact that you've got a run. So it all adds up, these little increments of experience and detail that make the pike's life easier, if you like. And that's important because they're a resource under some pressure.
There's another important thing which you've also got to take into account, and that is the delay between when you get a run or an indication of a run and when you strike. It's no good having all this sophisticated bite indication if you haven't got the will to go and strike straight away. And if I have a run, I just go to the rod and I wind down and I strike straight away. The old-fashioned attitude of giving it line and seeing whether the pike has turned the bait and waiting for the second run, that's a load of baloney. There's no need. If you've rigged correctly with a sensible sized bait, between 5 and 7 inches long, 2 trebles set 3 inches apart, there's no reason why you should not go to the rod and strike immediately.